Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Life After Love. Am I the a-hole for outing my ex as gay to get his mother off my back? It's a long and sucky story, but my 25 female, soon-to-be ex, 28 male, is gay and hid that from me. I found out because I caught him cheating, and he as much as admitted that he knew he wasn't attracted to me that way, but he wanted kids and a normal life. I don't care that he's gay, but I will never forgive him for leading me on so he could use me to have kids, so it's over, end of story. The problem is that his family are fundamentalist nutjobs, except for a few members, and his mother is the interfering mother-in-law from hell. Not being related to her anymore is another plus to leaving. His family doesn't believe in divorce, so under the guise of picking up some paperwork and other items I had found that were my ex's, she cornered me about how I'm being childish and marriage is about commitment, forgiveness, and working through problems, etc. It became apparent that my ex didn't tell his family that he cheated. He told his mom that I was divorcing him because we weren't having sex often enough for me. I tried to be patient and explained that he had cheated and that's why. I wasn't going to go into greater detail because I know how his parents are and it's none of their business. Mother-in-law's advice, I kid you not, was that men are just that way, and if I wanted to have sex more and for him not to stray, that I should make myself more attractive to my husband and be a better wife. I lost the plot completely. It had been a sad and hard day already, and that was the last straw. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I told her that the only thing that would make me more attractive to my ex would be a sex change operation, and that I hoped he and his boyfriend adopted her some grandchildren so she could finally shut the hell up about it. Not my finest moment, but she just hit the worst and rawest nerve she could have, and I exploded. It's evidently turned into a huge family drama. He's probably going to be disowned, and my ex called sobbing that I've ruined his life out of spite. I don't really know how to feel about it. I do feel bad for him that his parents are such awful people and there were just no good outcomes for him, but I also feel like he made his own bed here too. Yeah, OP, I don't think you're the a-hole in this situation. And of course I understand that somebody coming out is on their time and their decision, but I also kind of feel that he lost that one when he duped you for a long time pretending to be attracted to you just that he could have a normal family. He was basically using you to have kids, and I believe the term is beard, but you didn't even know about it. It's not your fault that his mom and the rest of his family are unsupporting idiots. But he can't call you up sobbing saying that you ruined his life. I'm so sorry, no. As a side note, I'm curious, OP, did you look out into your mother-in-law's garage to see if the DeLorean was there? Because I'm pretty sure she took a time machine from like 1950 to come and say those things. Anyways, not the a-hole in my opinion. And what about you guys? What is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. That bitch says, probably an unpopular opinion, but not the a-hole. You got pushed into a corner and blamed for the demise of the relationship, which was ultimately because of his dishonesty. You didn't do it maliciously. Also, he wasted years of your life for selfish reasons, and I personally could never forgive that. OP was being constantly harassed, blamed, and basically defamed because her ex blamed her for everything. It wasn't malicious to out him, and he should have taken more accountability for his role in all of this. The fact that he plainly stated he only married her to have kids is beyond disturbing, and automatically makes him the a-hole, no questions asked. You do not dehumanize a person and treat them as a breeding animal for your own purposes because of your hidden sexuality. Inexcusable. Mountain Monk 72 says, not the a-hole. It is a kind and greater good thing to try not to out the person as it can be physically dangerous, but he also hasn't really earned any kindness from you. He's the a-hole that A, cheated, and then B, lied about the reason why to his parents, leading to his mom harassing you. And he's also the a-hole that was planning on essentially tricking you into a lifelong commitment while he likely would have been cheating the whole time had he not gotten caught now. So yeah, you are not the a-hole. And Opie responds, yeah, he's been cheating on me for the entirety of our relationship and has a boyfriend he's been with longer than we've been married. He literally intended to use me for kids and to keep his parents off his tail, and he made me feel like I was the reason we were having sexual issues in the marriage when it was him the entire time. Vivid Ground 6632 says, not the a-hole. I see a lot of comments that say there's no reason to out someone, but it's his fault for lying to his family. Like, if he owned up to the fact that he cheated and did not want to be with his wife, they probably wouldn't be harassing her. He needed to deal with his family if he wanted her to keep her silence. He lied to her their entire relationship to appear normal, which is an understandable feeling, but do it with someone who wants the same thing. Opie's edit. A couple of things from the comments. 1. There is almost no chance of violence. His family are fundies, but not violent ones. They're more of the Mormon shunning type. One of his cousins came out and left the church, and after the initial protests, they all just stopped talking to him and basically treated him as if he were dead, until he was ready to repent or whatever. They're passive-aggressive, repressed, and weird as all get out, but the chances of anyone physically hurting him are extremely low. He's not financially dependent on them and has more than a decent job, so he can support himself easily if they kick him out. 2. He's known he was gay since before he met me, so this wasn't a new discovery or admission to himself. He has a boyfriend that he's been dating since 6 months before we were married. I went through his computer after catching them in the act and kicking him out, and found messenger logs and other evidence going back to before he started dating me. He literally set this up so he could have the nice Mormon family on the surface to keep his family happy. That's it. He never loved me at all. I was just the first girl to express a sustained interest. Okay, well, the majority of the community judgment is that OP is not the a-hole. Now, let's take a look at some more responses from OP's comments before we move on with the update. Additional information from OP's comments. I genuinely didn't intend to out him. I was yelling and I didn't even realize exactly what I'd let out until after she left. I would never had outed anyone under normal circumstances. The only people I told the whole truth to was my parents and siblings because I was so upset after kicking him and his boyfriend out of the house that I didn't feel safe and went to my parents' house. They promised they wouldn't tell anyone and haven't. I just told everyone else that we were getting a divorce and didn't want to talk about it, but just hearing that he lied and made me out to be the problem again, I lost my mind for a minute. I regret letting the secret slip because it's caused so many problems, but I don't think I should have to take all the blame either just so he can stay comfortable. I'm not anti-LGBTQ in any way. My brother is bi and dating a man, and I love him and his boyfriend dearly and would fight someone over them. I don't care that my ex is gay. If he had admitted it, we could have worked something out. But he gaslit me for over a year about our sexual problems, intended to use me and cheat on me for the rest of our lives. And then I walked in on him getting head in our own house. It has nothing to do with him being gay to me, it has everything to do with him using me and blaming me for everything. His family's mindset was so shocking to me when I met them. I'm more of a cultural Mormon, but my family is mostly practicing Latter-day Saints, and they were so understanding to my brother when he was struggling and came out. The X family aren't exactly part of a splinter Latter-day Saint group, but like close enough. They're really into Denver Snuffer and all that mess, and at least one of his uncles has a spiritual wife. I insisted we not live close to them when we got married. I think they've been able to hide it because the boyfriend is also married, so it just looked like they were guy friends hanging out. I remember seeing his boyfriend and his wife a few times before while we were meeting up with his friends, but I never thought something like this was going on. I've debated about trying to contact the boyfriend's wife because I don't know if she knows and is okay with it or if she's in my shoes, but I don't want to get any deeper into this than I already am. I just want it to be over. I'm definitely pissed off with him as well. I have a restraining order against him right now because he wouldn't stop calling and coming by the house to beg me to work it out. That's why his mother had to come pick up his things. And even though he breached his restraining order by contacting me to bitch about me ruining his life, I don't want to make things harder for him than they already are, so I'm going to let that one slide due to emotional duress, but if he does it again, I'm reporting it. Okay, so now we've got all the background, the judgment, and the additional information. It's time to move on with the update to see what happened after this. Some folks asked how things were going, and I don't have a lot of places to talk openly about what's happening for obvious reasons, so I thought this might be a good way to get some stuff out of my head and update those who wanted to know at the same time. I'm grateful for all the different opinions. I'm so conflicted about the situation myself. It helps to see other people's reasoning and values on the subject. I feel like I can't trust my mind right now, and the thread has helped me make some peace and move on. I've finally gotten radio silence from my ex immediate family after the incident with the mother-in-law, so that's a relief. I work at the same place with a couple of his extended family members, so I still have to see them, but they haven't brought it up. They all know to contact me only through my lawyer now, and everything big that belongs to my ex has been passed on already, so anything else can be forwarded through the legal office now. I shouldn't have to interact directly with them, but it's hard to avoid people forever in a small town. My ex tried to break into the house the day that I posted the story while I was at work, and I pressed charges. I don't know how that's going to shake out or why he's doing this when it can only get him in worse trouble, but I'm letting my lawyer and the police handle it, and I'm staying with my parents for a while until I feel safer. I don't know what's happened between him and his family, and I don't want to try and find out. My ex, and I guess his family, before the fight with the mother-in-law, spread rumors about me, and it's made living here very hard. It's a smallish community, and people treat me differently now. The local stake president has been kind, and after being told about the cheating, no mention of orientation, said he would try to help with the rumors. I don't want to leave the area, but I'm thinking that I may need to, at least for a while, after the legal stuff is over. My lawyer and I have decided to go for an annulment, since that will take less time and be harder to fight in this case. Hopefully, the ex won't contest it. I'm glad that we never combined finances. There won't be too many joint assets to sort out. I will be okay financially. Still, this could have been much worse if I was a stay-at-home mom or something. I'm going to start therapy soon. I was thinking about it anyway, even before this all came out, because I've been feeling depressed over how things were working in my marriage for a while. I don't want to lose any more of myself and my time than I already have, and I hope one day I'll feel good enough to start dating again. Right now, I don't know. Even thinking about it hurts. A couple of things that I wanted to comment on from responses to the post. I am a Mormon, although an inactive one for much of my life, and I don't want the entire Latter-day Saints church to be painted with this brush. My ex and his family aren't typical, though I know there are people like that out there. Also, please, don't generalize about gay people because of my story. There are LGBTQ people close to my heart, and they would never do this to anyone. I don't believe that outing people is generally okay, or I wouldn't feel so bad about all of this. My ex-family set this up with their intolerance. I wish none of it had happened, for me and for him too. Takeaway, I guess, is don't out people if you can possibly avoid it. Even if some people see it as justified in the circumstances, is not good and it doesn't feel good. My name is a little clearer and I'm not being directly harassed anymore, but that's it. Now, I get to figure out the next step. Well, OP, apparently you're out of the storm and working on getting better for yourself. So hopefully you'll get to do that in the short term and then move on with your life. Thanks for sharing and take care, OP. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user MikeMoj.C. Try to pile on more work to increase your bonus? Not gonna happen. I oversee a team of a dozen folks when it's fully staffed. We had a fellow move out of state for school. A lady retired to care for her grandkids when her daughter got sick. Then 3 people promoted up within the organization, all within 4 weeks' time. So almost half the team suddenly became unavailable. While I'm involved in the recruiting and onboarding process, management up to 3 levels above me tends to be a bottleneck. Each time someone let me know they were moving on, I informed management and gave them a running total. We're at 48% staffing, we're at 66% staffing, etc. Ads were placed. First round interviews conducted by me and a team lead. Second interviews recommended to the next level of management, and that's where the process suddenly stopped. For a week. Then 2. Then 3. It commonly takes 2 to 3 weeks after hire to bring a new person up to speed to start being productive, and perhaps 8 weeks for a new person to reach 90 to 95% of median productivity goals. The existing team was ready to pull together and work harder to keep up with the work, but I took each one aside and coached them that the heavy workload they were under was not their problem to solve. Yes, customers were complaining. Yes, other groups in the organization were getting frustrated that our team wasn't getting things done in a timely fashion. I encouraged them to work efficiently and well, but to not put in the extra unpaid time or contribute their own resources to projects. And if anyone was insistent in their complaints regarding the team's productivity, send them to me and I would explain the situation. Middle and upper management across the organization started vocalizing about how little work was getting done. When I played the Uno reverse cards that, hey, all we need is adequate, well-trained staff and we'll be able to keep up, and managers 1 and 2 and probably executive 1 all have potential interviewees on their desk for almost a month now. I started getting the stink eye from those folks. I found out later that one or a couple of those folks that I report to, and were also the next rungs in the hiring ladder, had proposed the idea that this team could run just as well a little leaner, so they arranged to find out. Whoopsie daisy, metrics indicated that organizational goals weren't met because of their decision. But I was able to provide the stats that proved that the team's individual goals were met, and that in many respects per person efficiencies were improved. My team members got their bonus, middle management failed to achieve, so no bonus for them that year. Fantastic, OP. This wasn't just a great malicious compliance, but also you had your team's back throughout this whole thing. You, my friend, are a true leader. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.